Hello, everyone. This is David Zappizzotti from Brain Flip Weight Loss, where we help people to completely eliminate all the food struggles and drop all the extra weight for good without doing any kind of the conventional methods. Basically, what we're doing is we're reprogramming the brain instead of exhaustively fighting the body. And we do it in this way so that not only will the results be lasting, but they can actually be transformed from weight loss being a struggle into actually being a joy. In fact, one of the principles in the program is that if the process you're using for weight loss is not joyful, it is not getting to the root of the issue. All right. And so I'm very excited. I have a special guest here that I want to talk with today. Her name is Pamela, Pamela Hauer. Thank you so much for being here, Pamela.
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Before we get into the specifics of what Pamela has gone through in the process of brain flip weight loss, I want to mention something really quick. In most weight loss programs, what happens is that we see before and after pictures or we see testimonials where a person's lost a bunch of weight, they've had a major transformation. You see their beginning picture and you see their end picture. Nowadays, like in today's world, we often question the authenticity of those testimonials, if those people have even really lost the weight, if they've been able to keep it off. Many of the testimonials we see, the people they lose the weight, they do a testimonial, and then they gain it right back afterwards. In brain flip weight loss, we have a little bit of a different approach. Instead of just trying to get a person to their goal and then celebrating it at that point, we don't focus as much on the destination. We focus more on the journey and celebrating the wins along the way. The reason I'm excited to talk with Pamela today is that Pamela has only been in brain flip weight loss for about 3.5 weeks. Is that right, Pamela?
That's right.
She's only been in for 3.5 weeks. We haven't gotten to the weight loss part yet. Basically, this process, there are three major brain flips that we go through. The first one is with cravings for unhealthy foods, where we reprogram the brain to be completely free of all unhealthy foods. That happens in typically about 2 to 3 weeks. The second flip is overeating and snacking. And that one takes about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And once we're done with that one, there's no food struggles anymore, and we're in a rhythmic eating pattern that's aligned with the body we want to have and the life that we want to live. The third brain flip is with weight loss, where we actually lose the weight in a way where we are not able to gain it back at the end. All right. So it's a very different process from what you've seen out there in other programs. Pamela just started 3.5 weeks ago. She just got done the first brain flip with cravings. So that's where we're at right now. So, Pamela, welcome. Thank you for being here. And I'd like to just start by asking you, what brought you to brain flip weight loss? Did you see an advertisement? Did you see a training I did? What did you initially see that drew you into this?
Well, I have been overweight my whole life. So I've been on a gazillion diets. And I got to the point where I knew it was not the food, it was not a program. I knew that some of these programs I would actually be successful. I'd lose like 30, 40 pounds. Now, mind you, I'm 300 pounds. So that was just a small fraction of what I needed. But when I got to a certain point, I got scared and I didn't feel safe. And so I knew that there was something else besides the food. And I knew it was in my brain, my head. And so I was searching and I saw your ad on Facebook and I clicked on it and heard all these testimonies from people who had lost, gotten rid of the cravings, lost all this weight, had no fear of it coming back. That was a new concept for me. It's a lot of people who lose weight. There's always that sense in your mind, like, oh, I got to keep this up because it's going to come back. Um, and I've known people that has happened to. So anyway, I did see your ad on Facebook and clicked on it, and that's where it started.
Awesome. Okay. So, if you don't mind me asking, can you give a little bit of an idea of what you like we're dealing with? I know it's only been 3.5 weeks, right? So you're new, but
Right,
what were you dealing with in regards to, you already mentioned 300 pounds, so we have quite a bit of weight to lose, right? We'll get to that in a little
right.
bit, but Tell me about food struggles. What kind of food struggles
Oh,
were you dealing with?
hello. Okay, so um I my favorite was ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. And the only way I
Me too. I
okay,
that's what I flipped also. That's funny. Okay.
Um, the only way I could actually manage to not eat ice cream is to not bring it in the house. Because if it was in my home and I put it in the freezer, it was lights out from there because it would be calling my name, David. I mean, I would be resisting it, which is kind of funny since I brought it in the house, but I'd be resisting it. And then finally I'd say, okay, I'm having a bowl of ice cream. But honestly, I didn't stop at one bowl or two. It would be like three bowls in an evening. And so the container, of course, would not last too long in my freezer. But that was not the only food that I had cravings for. Now, meanwhile, I'm eating the ice cream while I'm saying to myself, what are you doing? You shouldn't be eating this ice cream, right? But the other side of me is like, no, I want the ice cream. So I was struggling against myself, right? So, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. And I know that there's other things you've flipped baked goods, you've flipped other things as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Um,
Lots.
you mentioned weight loss has been an issue your whole life. Have the food struggles also been an issue your whole life
Yes.
since you were a little kid?
Yes. Very small.
Okay.
I remember stealing food when stealing, sneaking food from the freezer when I was 4
Okay.
and 5. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then when you first came into Brain Flip Weight Loss, were you indulging on a daily basis in something unhealthy, or was it more cyclical? It was every day what was
Every day.
happening?
I was I was on a donut binge at that point, and I had been eating donuts for 3 weeks, and I was eating them two at a time.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you came into the process. I'm just curious, when you saw like my advertisement and maybe a training or you heard, how the average time it takes to flip cravings, to become free of unhealthy cravings is 2 to 3 weeks, right?
Right.
When you saw that, did you have doubts about that?
Uh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 60 years. I've been like, trying every program out there, and you were talking about, eliminate your cravings in 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay. Um, but well, when I saw your ad, I'm just sort of the kind of person that loves to like look into things before I go into them. And so I went on the internet and I found interviews with you. I found like the long interviews with the ladies, and so by the time that I had actually talked with you, I was already like more convinced about this program that it was going to work. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And
I
so
don't know. I don't know how it was going to work, but I just felt it was going to going
got
to
it.
work.
Okay. So we start on the process and you start to reprogram your brain with the junk foods. For everyone listening, we actually reprogram the brain to be free of the addiction to the junk food while we're in the act of eating it. And the reason for that is that a physical inner conflict requires a physical solution. We need to physically eat it in order to reprogram it. This is what a lot of people are doing and why it doesn't work for most people is that they're trying to use a mental solution to a physical attachment or addiction. They're trying to use discipline or willpower, or they're trying to white knuckle it. They're trying to mentally find ways to decrease the desires or get away from the desires or repress the desires or escape the desires or things like that, right? We don't do any of that kind of stuff. We just reprogram the brain around the food while we're in the act of eating it. It doesn't make the food taste less desirable. It just changes what that taste means to the brain. It doesn't mean escape route. It doesn't mean relief from stress or something like that anymore. And so you start on this process. How long did it take you to get to the point where you were free of junk food cravings?
I would say in the first 2 weeks, I was free of 50%.
Okay.
And then by the time even less than 3 weeks, I was free of everything.
Okay.
And I was actually hunting it down. I was like going after it, like old things that I used to love and smelling them and, just saying, do I want this? And
Right.
honestly, it was not calling my name. And I still have the mint chocolate chip ice cream in my freezer 4 weeks later. That would have been gone in 2 or 3 days before this program.
Yeah. Now, for everyone listening, I just want to mention this because could sound kind of confusing. When she says she was hunting them down, what that means is that we're not only becoming free of the food struggles, we're changing the whole dynamic around how we relate to unhealthy foods and desires for unhealthy foods. So typically, we're trying to escape them and get away from them. In this process, as we program the brain to want them less, we search them out more and more. So we become the ones that are hunting them down rather than them trying to get to us and we're trying to escape from them. And so at the end of that process, let me ask you this. You've been in the program now for 3.5 weeks.
Right.
How much fear do you have around unhealthy cravings now?
Oh my goodness, absolutely none. And it's surprising to myself that I'm saying that
I mean, not
because
not even a little bit. Like, is there maybe
no,
like a 10% fear?
no,
What about
nothing.
what about like a 1% fear? All right, how about like a 0.001% fear? Is there even like a little inkling of it?
No. I mean, if something comes up at a holiday time that I've not experienced yet, because we're just in fall, but maybe, Thanksgiving or Christmas. I mean, if something does come up, I now have the tools to handle that. And I know I'm not going to succumb to it like I did on other weight loss programs where I'm like, you can't have this and you can't have this, and you can only eat that and only in these portions and only at this time. This is like nothing like that.
Yeah. For everyone
Yeah.
listening, what she's talking about is that we actually develop associations with different types of foods in different circumstances. So we could reprogram the brain to be free of cookies, and right now it's September, but then in Christmas time, there might be a desire for cookies because when we were little kids, we baked cookies with our mom during Christmas. And so there's a special bond there that we can't cover at other parts of the year. But the point is that no matter what associations come up of, even if there is a little bit of desire that could come up in the future, she knows exactly what to do with it. Think of it this way. When we've learned to read, when we really understand how to read when we were kids, we didn't go through life thinking about like a fear of not being able to learn it, like to unlearn it, to forget how to do it. We don't think about maintaining our ability to read. It's the same with this. You don't need to maintain cravings control because there's nothing to control anymore because they're no longer there. And so, Pamela, I want to ask you something else. You know how, like, on most weight loss advertisements, you see like the little asterisk at the bottom that says results not typical, right?
Right.
In your experience in the group coachings and the program, as you've seen yourself make these transformations as well as other people, have you found that your results that you're experiencing are not typical?
No. In fact, everybody that's in the coaching is getting the same results. Um, if you follow what David is asking us to do, you will have the same results. I mean, and he says, even if you don't believe it's going to happen, and it happens. I mean, it happened to me. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And I love when people come in and they don't believe it's going to work. I mean, you already had a little bit of a buy-in because you heard me talking in different interviews and you had a sense of what it was, but many people don't. Many people come in, they're like, I don't know that this is going to work, and it still does. So that's really
Mhm.
exciting for me when that happens. Um, I'm sure that we'll do other talks like this for people listening once we go through the overeating flip and then you're doing weight loss and all that stuff. So I'm excited for the future journey testimonials rather than just the end destination one, right? Um,
Yes.
with that being said, is there anything that you would like to share or like leave people with as we're closing out this conversation?
I would say, um, I struggled all my life. I mean, I'm a lifetime dieter, and this is like the easiest thing. It's the most transformative thing that I've ever done. It's changing. No longer am I craving the junk food, but I'm finding, surprisingly enough, I am craving healthy food. And it's also changing the way I think. It's changing my relationships. It's going far beyond just the food. And so I'm the most surprised of that. And I would just encourage anyone that if you have even an inkling of wanting to look into this, I would highly recommend it. It's done well, I wouldn't call it a miracle, but I would say it's been like 180 degrees away from what my previous experience has been with weight loss. Um, and I have no idea how much weight I've lost already. I already know that some clothes are loose on me. Uh, I've had to
And
cinch my bra in a little bit.
and that's also
Right.
normal is that we lose weight before we even get to the weight loss part a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I have no even thought about, oh my gosh, I wonder how much weight I've lost. It's like the focus is not on the numbers or the weight or any of that. It's a completely different approach. And it's just really refreshing. That's what I can say. It's very refreshing.
Yeah.
So thankful that I found you.
Thank you. And I want to say something to you about what you're doing right now that you might not be as aware of because you're going further into the journey into weight loss. And I want to share this with everyone else as well. The key to lasting, this is going to sound really strange, all right? But that maybe not to you, Pamela, because you've already heard me say some strange things, so you're kind of used to my strangeness. But for everyone else listening, the key to lasting weight loss, I'll tell you right now what it is. All right. It's not what you think it is. The key to lasting weight loss is to not focus on weight loss during the act of losing it. The more that we can lose the weight without focusing on it, the more lasting it becomes. As strange as this is going to sound, the process that Pamela is going through right now is a process of systematically focusing on weight loss less and less and less and less and less. And the more she does that, as she loses the weight, the more stable it becomes. All right. And so, for anyone listening who's interested in finding out more, there'll probably be a link down below this video or maybe in the comment section. If we're sharing it on social media, like just on our personal pages, you can message us to ask us more about what this all entails, and we can get you the information and you can find out more for yourself. So, once again, Pamela, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to doing this again soon and seeing you on the group coaching tomorrow.
Thank you so much, David. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.